All right, this is Block 3, Progressives in Power, Section 6, Woodrow Wilson, the Federal Highways Act of 1916. This is another expansion of American government. President Wilson in 1916 passed a law called the Federal Highways Act, which provided federal money to help build roads. In the early years of the 20th century, as we're going to see in the next block, the popularity of the automobile was growing by leaps and bounds, and every year more and more and more people were driving. And for the first little while, only individual towns would be building roads. And if you wanted to go from town to town, it was very difficult because basically you were stuck on the old horse tracks, which were dirty, dirt roads with mud, and they were not wide, they were narrow. So driving and the economic advantages of driving were restricted because you couldn't get from town to town, let alone from state to state, by the roads that were in existence. So the Federal Highways Act of 1916 changed that. And it also, so business people wanted this. The railroads obviously did not, that the more roads there were, the worse off the railroads were going to be. But this is Wilson again providing competition or engaging in government projects to create competition. He wanted someone to compete with the railroads. So he fought and got past this construction of this Highway Act. Now, if you look at the map, as you are doing right now, this map is a map of all the official U.S. highways. Now, the U.S. highways are different. Here's a map of a road sign from Elizabeth, New Jersey. And there are 4 different types of road signs here. The blue shields that sometimes you see, those are the U.S. interstates. Those are not built until the 1950s. This one with the round circle, that's in Newark, that's a state highway. But these little white and black signs with the little shields on them are the U.S. highways. These are the U.S. highways that were built with money provided under the Federal Highways Act of 1916. You go on Route 1 and 9 all the time. It splits Elizabeth right in half. That is one of the roads that was built with that money. Route 1 and 9 goes down from Delaware up into New York. Route 22, which goes across Union and a little bit north of Elizabeth, if you go out that way, that's US 22. This is a helpful thing when you learn how to drive, of course, but 22 goes from the Holland Tunnel all the way to Cincinnati and right through Union County. This was another road that was built with this Federal Highways Act. And as you can see, there was lots and lots and lots of highways built, so that for the first time, without having to use the rails and without having to use horses and using your very own automobile, which more and more and more people were having during this time, you could get first from town to town and then from city to city and before long from state to state on paved roads of good quality. They were at grade level, meaning that it's just like they were not elevated highways, they were not limited access highways. Like Route 1 and 9 is what that means, a grade level highway. Route 1 and 9, for the most part, except for that part that they elevated, 5-6 years ago, is at the same level on the road as all the other streets. If you're on Maple Avenue right here near school, you could drive right across 1 and 9, get onto 1 and 9, make a left, make a right onto 1 and 9. They are generally, when they were first built, 2 lanes, 1 lane each way. But for their time and for the vehicular traffic that was going on in the 19-teens and 1920s, they were a godsend to the American traveler, to the American business. And overall, it was a way to create competition and encourage economic efficiency, and another great law passed by President Woodrow Wilson.